You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down, featuring in-depth discussion and interviews with stand-up comedians on the art of stand-up comedy. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Stand Up, Sit Down.
They got way up there. What's going on, people? It's your boy Ashley J. Thomas. I got you back in the house today. Black Hollywood Live, stand up and sit down. All right. You won't believe who I got in the booth today.
Unbelievable.
The one and only.
We're famous.
The veteran in the game, baby. Mr. Michael Colyar. You say what's up to the people, baby?
What up? How y'all doing out there? Y'all in the right place at the right time. I'm glad y'all joining us. I'm here with Ashley. What we about to do, dog?
Let's do it right, baby. Chi-Town's finest, baby. I already let the people know. So let the people know. Yes, Chi-Town.
You know Southside, brother. 4352 South State Apartment 909. Robert Teller Homes. You know about that. Projects might be gone, but the Wild 100's still there.
I'm about to say, I'm about to grab my wallet right now. Just
that's
to be
right,
safe.
that's right. You better grab a bulletproof vest right now. We taking each other out in Chicago,
it's a sad thing out there,
I don't like it,
man.
man, but I'm doing something about it, and that's what's important, man.
Definitely, man.
It's one thing to talk about it, but to be about it is what it's all about.
That's true. Go ahead and jump into it, man. You want to talk about the situation
Well, you
out
know
there?
what we're doing right now is a music video that we're shooting in Chicago with some of the finest Chicago rappers and poets in Chicago. It's called The Soundtrack of My Life. And so we're doing a music video that reminds black folks that we come from kings and queens, man.
Yeah.
We remember our royalty, where we come from. Instead of us tearing each other down, we lift each other up. Yeah. So it's a fly music video. So far, Twister's already added his music. GLC has added his. The Brat is working on her part. And we just got a commitment from Lupe Fiasco.
Woo!
And I'm going after Common. I'm going after R. Kelly. Who else? Am I missing somebody? It's okay. We just radio. Yeah, we already got GLC. He's already on it. Never mind. That's my
He's a vet in the game, baby.
He only in the game like 2 months right now. He's almost helped me, though. He kind of helped me.
Lorenzo up here doing his thing.
Lorenzo making my life smoother, man. My new cat, I want to give a shout out, Lorenzo 22. He be helping me make this thing smooth, you know, because you can't do it all by yourself.
You cannot.
But the music video is really off the chain. The music is fantastic. The bass music is by a young brother named Jamal Ahmad Harris and Hakeem Samad. Hakeem was one of the 4 brothers called the Boys.
Oh, yeah, I remember way back in the day.
So he now works out of synagogue with a group called the Sons of Light, spelled S-U-N-S, the Sons of Light. And there's also a brother named Rabs. What's Rab's first name? Mark Rab, the brother who sang the song, who sang the hook. Okay, he
Lorenzo working, baby.
Today, but I can't think of Rab's last name. I think it's Mark Rab. But the 3 of them did the bass music, and then all the other artists are setting their music upon it. So it can be sort of like self-destruction. It's going to be self-destruction, where everybody's jumping in and putting their take on it about how we need to put the guns down in Chicago and lift each other up. So it's coming at you, and it's coming fast.
And that's a great thing to address it. Not only to talk about it, but to be about it. Because, you know, you see a lot of these people or the performers, they be like, oh, that's bad what went on in Ferguson. But I'm going to keep rolling. You know what I'm saying?
People talk about what went down in Ferguson, and that breaks my heart. And, you know, we just went last Saturday to St. Louis. This woman named Cleo King, she plays Nana, the grandmother on Mike and Molly. And so she and I went down to St. Louis this past Saturday and did a comedy show, to raise money for Michael Brown and his family. And we are very concerned about not just what happened in Ferguson, but what's happening all around this country. Yeah. How cops just take liberty. They just kill us at will.
However they feel.
At will. Last week they just shot a brother in his car, and the police asked him to give him his credentials, and he reaches in the car to get the credentials. Police shot him right in the leg. It's weird because the way they treat us is different than the way they treat white people. With white people, they're patient with them. They take their time with
and
black
they can have an
people.
attitude and be upset.
They can have an attitude and everything, and they can have it as long as they want, and the police will be patient with them. Black people, this is the way to stop black people. Pow, 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 pow. Halt! Or I'll shoot.
Yep.
So I am upset with that all over the country, but I'm more upset with us taking each other out.
Yeah.
We don't need to be killing each other. We with the way white folks and the police
it's already
are
enough.
killing us, all we gotta do is be patient.
Yeah.
They'll take care of that. We don't need to be killing each other. So if we can start by just holding on to each other, lifting each other up, becoming a unified group, then we can stop outsiders because they feel it's okay. Look at us doing it to each other. So it's okay for us to do it too. So we need to stop all of it, and all we have to do is work towards it. You know, one person's not going to do it, one group or one organization. It takes a movement. So everyone has to stand up, and I don't mean stand up and burn your community down.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever understand that type of rioting when when they tore up L.A. and they tore up all of our own community. If they really want to impress me, go across Wilshire, go north of Wilshire, go to Beverly Hills, and they'll stop it in 9 seconds. But go over there if you're mad. Don't destroy your own stuff now when it's over and you ain't mad no more. Now you don't have any stores, you don't have any good shops or anything because you've destroyed your own thing because you so mad at the other people. You know, I got thrown off a plane, United Airlines. They put me off because I wouldn't give a white lady my space where my luggage was. You know, the plane was full. She come on last minute. I wouldn't give her the space. I wasn't belligerent. I wasn't cursing. I wasn't loud. I wasn't rude. I just wasn't giving up my space. They threw my black behind off that plane.
Real easy, real quick.
So I petitioned it. I got on the internet. I did all the screaming I could do about it. But at the end of the day, I still fly with United. Yeah. And because it's the best airline and I got so many miles racked up that most of the time I'm flying first class because of the miles. And people say to me, well, aren't you mad? Why don't you boycott them? You think I'm going to fly and coach on Delta because I'm mad at United? Hell no. I'm getting in United and getting in first class. That is not, you don't want to protest by hurting yourself, you know, unless hurting yourself really helps your protest. Otherwise, man, you're just playing with yourself, man.
You know, that's very interesting. We're getting real serious real quick, but why not while we on it? Do you feel as though in Ferguson, you know, all the rioting going on, do you think, you know, things would have gone to trial if that didn't happen? Because it's almost like, hey, if we just, if the America didn't have their focal point on Ferguson, then nothing would have went down. Or, you know, it's still not, everything's not worked out completely, but it's still keeping an eye on it, where it could have been just swept under the rug real quick. So what do you think is a suggestion to keep the voice out? Because I've realized that within the black community, we don't have as big a voice, say like women's rights, where when CeeLo came out and said his stuff, they just sent an email, and basically CeeLo's career is a wrap now. You know what I'm saying? Out for email. You know, we as a black community can't just send an email and still get that same reaction.
Well, we definitely still need organized chaos.
Yes, sir.
We don't need disastrous chaos, but we need organized chaos. You know, they wouldn't have moved as quickly towards what's going on in Ferguson. Everybody just shut up and let it take its own course. It'll be forever before that thing will come to trial, if ever.
Yeah, and so they'd be like, oh, that's old news. You still mad about that?
Yeah, but I think you need organized chaos. I think you need people to march in the streets and to raise hell. But I don't think you need people to tear up cars and start fires and try to shoot each other. I don't think that's the way that we get to it. I don't think we get there that way. I think what we do when we do that is we justify them bringing more force against us. You know, because when a city is talking about bringing in tanks and National Guards and stuff like that, that is not about order. That's about killing them niggas. Yeah. That's what that's about. And we don't want to situate ourselves where they can justify causing us harm. If we do it peacefully, if we do it where we make our mark. Okay, great example. My great friend and my assistant now, Lorenzo, he just filmed me 2 weeks ago at the post office, worst post office in America, is on Manchester and what is that exactly? It's at Manchester and Market, right at the corner, like Market and Manchester.
That's in Hollywood or
right here? No, in Inglewood.
Inglewood, yes, yes.
And the people are just horrible. The people who are behind the counter, they act like they mad that they got a job. You know, when people are fighting to get jobs, they should be happy they work at the post office. They act like they pissed off that we even there. So they treat the customers with disdain, with poor order. It's horrible. I think they all need a hug. You know, so we stood in front of the post office and he filmed it for me, and we put it up on Facebook, and I talked about how horrible and terrible they were. And I mean, 30, 40 people chimed in. By the next day, the postmaster called me to apologize and say, Michael, tell me about it. And I told her about it. She said, well, write me about it. And I wrote them about it, and they suspended. 2 of them gave them 7-day suspensions without pay. And now she promises me that she's personally going to monitor it. And if there's ever any problem, to call her direct line. Well, I get that from white folks. When white folk mad, They don't tear up their own stuff.
Yeah.
They write a letter. They go to the cat in charge, and they scream, and they raise hell, and then they get something done. It worked so well that when I wrote that when I did the video and put it up, the people who owns Doolin's, which we need to go to Doolin's to get lunch today. The people who own Doolin's, which is a fabulous soul food restaurant here in Los Angeles, been here 70, 80 years, right? Great, good stuff. They saw that video and used that video as a training video for their employees. And they said, if we ever had this kind of complaint, we're going to be firing people around here. And so we getting ready to go get a free lunch on Doolin's because we protested in an organized manner.
Yes.
We didn't throw a brick through the window. We raised hell. And that was better than throwing a brick through the window, because I don't know if they're really going to get a suspension or not.
Yeah.
But I know that the least lady said she's going to do it.
Yeah.
I got that in writing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back over there every day and peeking my head in there. And if I don't see them two people gone soon, we going to be shooting another video. And I'm going to go into detail about what happened. I wish I had brought that letter to read. I sent them a letter that sizzled them. But that's how we do it. So I think, to answer your question, that's a long way to get to this answer that you asked. But yes, I think you have to really act out to get the kind of attention we need being black people, because in Chicago, we're killing 8 and 9 young boys every weekend, and some weekends are spectacular. I was there 2 weeks ago. They killed 4 boys and shot 19. On the 4th of July, they killed 19 and shot 90. And I guarantee you, if that was white boys getting killed every weekend, everybody in this country would be raising up. All the white folks, every organization, every politician,
very true.
They would put a stop to it. But it's just the niggas killing the niggas.
And they don't
let's
care.
not worry about it, because maybe soon they'll all be gone. You know? So yeah.
Yeah, I remember just reading that.
I don't know if y'all know that.
And we are real up in here.
If you ask me about some other stuff, I also happen to have a little bit of a brain.
But I was reading that a comedian is the deliverer of the truth. You're the messenger of the truth.
At least we're supposed to be. We're supposed to observe and report. That's what I do. We had another guy put up on Facebook who's mad at me because he goes to my church, Agape. Oh, I put it out there. And the brother come to church. He's got a full beard. He looked like Teddy Pendergrass. He looked like
Teddy Big back in the day?
He got a full beard and mustache, wore a fly black man suit, and a lady's pumps, black high heel pumps. And the pumps are beautiful. So I took a picture of the pumps. I took a picture of him, and I put it on Facebook. And I said, these some beautiful shoes. I said, they sure would look lovely on a lady. You know? And so I was just having fun. Well, a whole bunch of people had stuff to say about it. Most of it was funny. But he got offended. And he came on because his mama came on. And she said, that's my son. I'm proud of him. And he's a father. And he's a God man. And, and then he came on and said, Mama, thank you for supporting me. And I just didn't think that my friend Michael Colyar would take a picture of me like this and put it up on Facebook. And I had to say to him, bruh, you come to my church, which is 1,700 strong for each service, and we got 3 services. You showed up there dressed like that.
You public, bro.
You ain't in the closet. You already out here. And what I do is observe and report. If I see something that's funny, I take a picture. I put it up. Everybody with a phone, and everybody has a phone, including homeless people.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody with a phone got a camera. So if you don't want your picture taken looking a certain way, don't come out looking that way.
Don't do it.
But if you come out looking that way, that means it's okay. Share it with the world.
Free season on you.
Don't be mad at me because of the choices you made. Them your choices. You made them choices. I ain't said nothing bad about him. I ain't call him no name, say no sissy or no. I ain't said nothing bad about him. I just thought there were some lovely shoes.
Say, call the spade a spade.
Hey, love to see him on a lady. That's all I'm saying. I observe and report. That's my game. That's what I do.
And a red bottoms on in church, but
hey, the red bottoms on. That's what I'm talking about. And to me, that's hilarious. And if he does it again, I'm there. I'm taking another picture.
Another picture,
I'm
but
telling
hey,
right now. When I see him, I got my camera. So yeah,
definitely. But we're gonna take it all the way back, Mr. Colyar, for a second. Let's tell us, when did you know you were funny?
I don't know yet.
What?
No. I've always been funny. Even in grade school, high school, I was funny. I didn't think it was marketable funny. I didn't think it was the kind of funny that I could monetize, which is one of my favorite words of my man.
Yep.
He loved the word monetize.
That's the YouTube. How do I monetize and make money? That's really
what we all need to learn how to do, because a lot of us have talent, but we don't know how to monetize it. We have to learn how to organize it and to get it out there or to distribute it and have people pay us for what we distribute. We have to be able to monetize it. Well, at the time, I didn't know anything about any of that. I just know I was kind of funny and I was an actor, But in '86, this fabulous young man was the king of everything. He was the main star of the biggest show on television called Saturday Night Live. He had the biggest comedy concert and comedy concert film called Raw, and he had the biggest comedy movie out called Beverly Hills Cops. And he was in his 20s, and he was rich enough to pee cream.
Yes.
Named Eddie Murphy. And he got all of that just doing jokes. I said, oops, I better get in on this. And I went and got me some Red Fox albums and went into my mama's basement and played them over and over until I learned some jokes. And I got started doing my thing. And it's like anything else. You don't know where you're going until you get there, but you want to go where your heart desires. So I always tell people to think about what your passion is.
Yeah.
When I say what is your passion, I mean, what is the thing that you would do, even if people didn't pay you, you do it because you love to do it. You know, it's the thing you would do every day if you could. You don't need an alarm clock because you're so excited about it. You pop up in the morning ready to go. You walking 35% faster. It gives your heart something extra to thrive about. What would that thing be? And people would pay you all the money you want, and they'd be happy to see you come. Oh my God, here comes Ashford. You know, they'd be happy to see you coming. What is that thing? If you figure out what that thing is your passion. It may not be your ultimate passion, but it's your passion for now. So right now you work on for right now, because I started out as an actor. I didn't know that I wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to be an actor. So now I'm just acting comedically. So I'm still doing the same thing, and it sort of takes you that way. A lot of people won't move forward with their journey because they don't see the whole journey. But you got to treat it like when you're in a car at night and you're driving and the headlights are on, you can only see 100, 150 feet ahead of you, but you're going to be driving 20 miles. Woo! But you can only see a couple hundred feet. You just take it a little bit at a time, and it becomes clearer and clearer.
Preach.
You know, so I didn't know. I knew I wanted to be an actor, and those two boys got me to come in the street and do it, become a street performer. That's when I got really good, because I started out doing these little jokes in little clubs and stuff around Chicago, and two street performers who called themselves Straight Up, John Tosbay and Byron Chapman, who also comes from the projects, Robert Teller homes in Chicago. They would stand in the street on State Street and tell jokes and pass their hat, and I was doing it in little clubs. And it was like, man, you should come out and do street performance. I was like, dude, I ain't no street puppet. Yeah. I'm not standing out in the street, hold my hat
I'm a bud, that fam.
And then they took me with them to count up their money after one show, because they had all these dollars and all this change, and they would take it to McDonald's, who would give them big bills and take all their ones and give them dollars for their change. And they had a bunch of money. So I started like that. I went out with them. They said, we'll do a show, so you already have an audience, and then you get up. So I got up. I made $5.85. And I thought, oh, that's pretty good. So I came back the next day. I made $1.85, and I said, hold up, I need to go do my homework. And they said, brother, your homework is right here in the street. But the next day, they didn't show up because it rained. I came anyway. It stopped raining at lunchtime. I did my piece, and I made $15. I was very happy about that $15. So I came back Saturday, and I said, if I make $40, I'm going to quit everything else I'm doing, and I'm going to do this full time. And I stood in front of Water Tower Place on Michigan Avenue, and when I got through, I had this brown sack of money. I went in and counted. I had $84. I said, oh, it's on now. Now, that might not sound like a lot of money, but $84 for 2 hours of just telling jokes. Yeah.
That's more than people working today.
That's all I did, man. And so that's sort of how that was the origins of how I started doing comedy and acting. And then everything else sort of worked out. I found Venice Beach. And
I was about to say, what brought you to California? Venice Beach, to be exact.
Well, what brought me actually to California is I was doing this comedy in Chicago. And then December came. And wasn't nobody trying to hear no jokes on State Street in December. You know, it was freezing.
Chi-Town winters are real, baby.
That's right. And so I told all the other street performers that I was going to California, because I was under the impression that you could stand all year round on Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco and perform, and the police wouldn't bother you, and you can do it whenever you wanted to, you know? I didn't realize it gets cold.
Oh, yeah.
In San Francisco.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it's hot all the time. So anyway, I sold everything that would not fit in my car. I had a 1967 Buick LeSabre.
Classic.
Everything would fit. I put in. Everything else I sold. And I used that money to come to California on my mission to go to San Francisco. Wow. You know, and it took me 5 days to drive across the country. I mapped it out. So by nighttime, I'd be in a certain city. I'd stay at like YMCA or a hostel, and you pay like $8, $10, and the room would be about the size of this little table. And it would have one bed in there, but it had a door that locked. So you'd have a safe place to sleep. And I would do that from city to city until I got to L.A., you know. And then I got to L.A. I was supposed to go to San Francisco. I found Venice Beach. And, man, I made real money at Venice Beach. I ended up being out there for 9 years. I made 6 figures a year, and that was from 86 to 95. But when I first got started, I was only making change. I was just making coins. And then a dirty, old, white, homeless guy came up to me and gave me the greatest routine I ever had. He came and talked to me about racism. And he said, they always calling black people colored. He said, but black people, when they born, they brown. When they die, they brown. White people, they born, they pink. When they cold, they blue. When they mad, they red. When they die, they gray. Them your colored people. And he was homeless. And I get that message from him. So I started doing this whole routine about racism. So I would do this piece where I talk about every race. I'd say something first about Mexicans. Are there any Mexicans in the crowd? Where y'all get all them oranges? You know? And then I go from oranges to black people and their hair. Then white people holding their little purse. I don't see no niggers. And I would go through all the different races, and then I'd tell that story he told, that racism is a joke, and that's why I joke about it. And it changed everything, because now I was doing conscious comedy.
Yeah.
I wasn't just telling jokes. So instead of people giving me change, they was giving me dollars. In the first year, they gave me 7 watches. They gave me gold chains.
What?
I mean, their wallet popped out their pockets because I was making them think and feel as well as laugh. And then the AIDS epidemic hit us because it was 86. And we didn't even know what AIDS was. We was calling it the gay white man's disease. We didn't even realize it didn't discriminate, that it would kill anybody.
Anybody.
You know? And so I was out there talking about safe sex when nobody wanted to talk about it. When in 86, you could not buy a commercial for condoms. They wouldn't sell it on radio or TV. They wouldn't sell a space for condoms. And that could save your life. They wouldn't even sell a condom ad. So I was in the street talking about it.
That was all day.
And it was, so people was like embracing what I was doing. And so I was able to make a living. And from being out there, so many people would see me. They'd invite me to audition for their movies. I got my first film, Hollywood Shuffle, from Robert Townsend, while I was out there.
Another Chi-Town native.
Oh, yeah, Southside. Robert Townsend's still doing his thing, too, you know?
Definitely on the grind. You not only did you know, you act like you just went out there, you actually named the King of Venice Beach. Don't just be like, yeah, I was just out there, you know, doing jokes and everything.
I am the king. I would like to think it's unofficial, but it's official.
Definitely.
You know, and out there they have my handprints and feet prints, and the thing I use to collect money in concrete to commemorate the time that I was out there. So I'm really hoping, and we're working on the ideal of going back out and shooting a 1-hour special. I'd done a 30-minute one with HBO 15 years ago. You know, I'd like to go back out there and do a full 1 hour on the spot where I started. You know, so that would be pretty fly. You know, I'm not gonna say I would like to. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to. You know, because there is no try. There's do or do not. You know, that comes from the great spiritual leader Yoda.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, what's next?
But definitely, man. Just telling your story and how humbling it is. How do you look at these young cats that I guess they step on the scene, they feel like, oh, I'm here, embrace this, you know? And
you know, I try not to do judgment, you know, because that's God's game. That's God's game. It's not really mine to do. So I think anyone who's trying to do what they want to do should succeed at it.
Yeah.
And if they try hard enough, they will succeed at it. You know, there's different ways to go about it. But, you know, everybody has a different way. What works for some people don't work for others. I think you can do anything in this life if you use the 15-minute method, where 15 minutes a day you work towards whatever it is you want to do. If you care about doing a thing, you'll give yourself at least that. If you laying around all day and wondering how come your career ain't happening, you ain't shit. You ain't going nowhere with that nonsense. But if you're serious about your work, you can give yourself 15 minutes a day. Hell, take Saturday and Sunday off. If you just take 5 days a week, 15 minutes a day, doing anything towards your craft. Name any craft. Go ahead, name one.
Being culinary craft, being a chef.
Being a chef. First, I thought like you were saying the colon.
Oh, no.
Okay, culinary chef. To be a chef. Okay, so if you spend 15 minutes a day cooking new dishes, or 15 minutes a day reading cookbooks and finding new recipes, or 15 minutes a day on the internet, watching chefs and how they cook and how they do the presentation. You know, just 15 minutes a day in any form towards what it is you want to do. In 2 months, you will see it right in front of you, no matter what you want to do. Even if it's something you don't think you can do. If you think you can ice skate, work towards the 15 minutes a day. If you 60 years old and fat, but you want to be a ballerina, work on it 15 minutes a day. Because here's the thing, when we commit to anything, providence takes hold.
Sure.
Doors open that we didn't even know were there. If you say today, I am a ballerina, the universe will hear you, and it will start giving you the elements you need to be a ballerina. So you're 60 years old and you're fat, but the universe knows you want to do it, and you're working towards it every day. And next thing you know, you exercising every morning. Like, I don't like to exercise, but now I'm doing it. Now I look forward to exercising. So my body is starting to trim again. I'm wearing suits I couldn't wear before. So
Clean
you're
cut.
60 and you're fat, and you want to be a ballerina. You'll start exercising 15 minutes a day. Then you buy some big old fat dance shoes, and you'll start walking around your house doing pointing stuff. And before you know it, some of your friends are here. Some of your friends, oh, she ain't gonna do it. She fat and she trying to do ballet, but she's practicing every day. And before you know it, somebody come along and say, you know what? We're doing a special ballet for fat old people. And we was wondering, would you join us? That's how God rolls. And it's you and 4 other people, and before you know it, it's a hit on Broadway.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard about the 5 fat broads on Broadway?
Doing
and
ballet.
they are dancing for real. Big girl did a pirouette, total wall down. You know what I mean? But you work toward it 15 minutes. Anything, cooking, dancing, weightlifting, anything you want to do, singing. Anything you want to do, 15 minutes a day. And before you know it, man, people be knocking on your door. Man, we heard about you. We heard you doing this. And we only got a little part. But can you come and do it with us? So when you talk about the new comics, same thing. They should study the other comedians.
Yeah.
They, with anything you want to do, you want to find the people who do it the best and study them. See the stuff they did that worked for them. Don't steal their stuff, but use the methods that got them there. What worked for them, try that kind of stuff to see if it works for you. And then just do a little bit of time. Don't try to do a lot. See, that's the worst thing in the world. If you try to do a lot, the task seems so monumental that it becomes daunting. And you quit. Nah, I can't do that.
I'll never
You
be that
quit.
great.
But who can't do 15 minutes? Who in the hell can't do 15? You could be paralyzed and do 15 damn minutes a day. So you do that. But if you don't love yourself enough to give that to you, you ain't serious about it. Everybody else should go about their business and keep doing their thing because you ain't trying to do yours.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So-
Speaking about working at your art, you still writing jokes every day, or you still
I'm writing what I can't steal.
I hear you.
I'm stealing as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with stealing jokes. Taking jokes from people who can't use them no more. Now, I'm not talking about people who got an active career.
Yeah,
But
like
Red
they just came up
Fox-
right before,
Red Fox did. He had 77 albums. How come I'm not going to use them jokes?
Right.
Red Fox had a sentence he would use, and he would drop one word off that sentence. But keep saying the sentence, and it would turn into a story. Oh, John, let's not park here. Oh, John, let's not park. Oh, John, let's not. Oh, John, let's. Oh, John. Oh! I mean, he was just brilliant. A craftsman of jokes. He could just craft jokes and poems. And so so many people. Let me tell you something. Milton Berle, who was one of the true great pioneers of comedy when television first started, Milton Berle would go to people's comedy shows with a pen and paper and sit on
Right
the
in
front row, dude. If you told a joke, he write it down right there while you was telling that joke and go tell it. And so I don't think you should steal people's material.
Yeah,
who
people
are
might get
alive and well.
You might get hemmed up. If people don't know in the
People
comedian
get
game,
mad. There's a black comedy family that never ever works with me because I accidentally use one of their jokes. And people laugh at the accidentally, but you can accidentally use material.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful too in studying material because sometimes you can watch somebody else do a joke that blows your mind. Oh man, that's hilarious. You know it ain't yours. You don't touch it. You forget about it.
Yeah.
2 years later, that joke comes back to you as you're talking about something.
And something similar and all that
stuff. It
stuff.
don't come back to you that you heard it somewhere. You think you thought of it. You're like, man, I'm brilliant. And you add it to your material. And then the person come along and say, dude, you know that's my shit, don't you?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't deliberately want to steal comedy from people who are alive. But there's a whole lot of dead comedians.
There's a lot of them.
A whole lot of funny stuff out there.
And speaking of that, talk about your inspirations because I know you have an older type of comedy. You set it up the way you structure it. It's so precise. You set up the jokes and everything. Talk about your inspirations.
Well, I
Red
don't
Fox.
like to think I have an older type of comedy.
I'll take it back. I'm
Can
sorry.
we curse on this station?
Yes,
Then
sir.
Let me say fuck you, okay? No, I don't think that I have an older type of comedy. I think what I have is across the board type of comedy because I do all of the elements of comedy. So I don't just do jokes, but I do jokes. A lot of people don't do jokes; they only do routines. But I do jokes, but I also do routines. A lot of people don't do routines.
That's
a lot
the thing
of people
about
just
it,
do
yeah.
jokes. But I try to do all of that, and I always try to incorporate whatever is current and now. So if it's about my president, I talk about my president. If it's about what's going on in Ferguson or people getting killed, I try to incorporate that. But I weave it together with jokes, because jokes is the thing I use to stitch it together all the way through. A hooker jumps in a taxi cab. Okay? Tell the taxi cab driver, take me to the house. They get to the house. Cab driver tells her how much it is. She said, look, I ain't got no money, but you could take it out of this here. So the cab driver turned around, looked at it, said, excuse me, ma'am, but do you have something a little smaller? Okay, it's jokes. But the jokes let your attention, it makes you calm down. It makes you open up and drop your wall of protection. Then I could actually hit you with knowledge, because what I do is conscious comedy. So I'm supposed to make you think and feel as well as laugh. Or I ain't doing what I'm doing, and ain't nobody else doing what I'm doing. That's why I've been doing what I'm doing this long. And ain't nobody stop me. Maybe I ain't got my millions yet, you know, because I'm still a day worker. However, I work consistently all the time. I've been living like a millionaire for 15 years. I don't know where the hell the money is, but I'm working. But my mama said, give them $1 now and $1 when they catch you. So what I do is I flow on faith, because I know God digs me, you know. So I try to honor him. I try not to disrespect God or my mother. I want them to be very proud of me. So I try to do good work, and I try to bring people along. I don't try to just say all about me. It's about who can I help? Who else can I teach? Whenever comics come along, who can I teach them? You know, who can I teach stuff to? And I was talking to Lupe Fiasco's manager today, and he was saying they're about to do a thing in Chicago, because he's around all these people who want to be comedians. And he said, I want to set up a workshop in Chicago for comedians. Michael, can I include you? I'm like, hell to the yeah. I will get to Chicago quick, fast, in a hurry. I'll come once a month, and we'll set up a workshop. I'd like it to be a master course, a comedian master's course, where I will teach comics from the beginning how to write jokes as well as how to steal jokes. Like, I got jokes I write, but the jokes I write, my woman don't really think they funny. But I think they're hilarious. But she don't even laugh at the stuff I write. Like, okay, like...
That's a good woman. If she's not laughing at every joke, she just loves you for you. That's what it is.
But she better love me for me, because she don't like a lot of my jokes. Like, okay, all right, this guy's fucking a duck. All right, now, she don't like this joke. She don't think it's funny. So Duck kept quacking. And he says to Duck, you quack one more time, and that's your ass. And the duck say, well, where you think you are now? That's hilarious to me. She don't think that shit funny. So I don't usually get away with too many of the jokes I write, you know, because they just, she don't get them. So I just steal stuff, you know. But routines, all the routines are about my life. They're about things that really happened to me. I'm working now on a routine about the relationship that I got out of, because I was married for 24, almost 25 years. To a woman I was with 27 years. It was a good run. But when it was over, it was over. And you have to know when it's over and move on.
People grow.
Otherwise, you ain't gonna be happy. And I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna go along around my life being unhappy. Happiness is our birthright. And if you don't get happiness, that's your fault. That ain't your woman's fault. That ain't nobody's fault. That's your fault. And I'm not responsible for my ex's happiness. I can't take that from her, because I didn't give her that. You understand? The giver of all is God. So I can't take that joy. I didn't give her that joy. Only God can give it to her and take it away. I can't do that. But my responsibility is to my joy. Am I happy? If I'm not happy, I can't make you happy. By releasing her, I releasing myself. I did release her too. Because if I'm not really happy, she would never reach the zenith of what she could be, because I ain't gonna really get there, because I'm not there totally in my heart. So I have to be true to self, because then I'm honoring God and I'm honoring myself, and then I'm gonna find my true joy, which is what it's all about. If you ain't happy, God didn't put people on this planet to be miserable. We ain't people talking to me, well, you got to give up everything you got to show God. God didn't put people on the planet to be broke. Get the hell out of here. This is a plentiful world. God is about abundance. There's really enough for everybody to have too much of everything, but there's a handful of people who own all of it, and because they own all of it, they meter it out to you so they can get more of it. But there's plenty for everybody, man. You know, I'm supposed to have a Rolls Royce. Me and my woman's supposed to have his and her Bentleys. I bet you Steve Harvey got one. I'll take it back 8.
He got a couple of them, about to say.
So how come everybody can't have it? Everybody can. We just have to work towards it, you know. And I mean, you know, I went off and did crack for 9.5 years. So for 9.5 years, I was on what you call a hiatus. So I sort of put my career on hold. And a lot of people who used to look up to me have zoomed past me. It's like the rabbit and like the tortoise and the hare. That story about they took off at the same time, and a rabbit took off, but he was so far ahead, he kicked back and relaxed. Yeah, he was full of himself. And Turtle just kept his slow pace. He looked, when the rabbit woke up, he was watching the tortoise cross the line. Well, that's how I am. I'm the tortoise. And yeah, I mean, I was the hare. I ran up there. I had everything going. And one day I picked up this rock and I said, I wonder what happened if I dropped this on this hot piece of glass. Well, 9.5 years later, I look up and the people who used to look up to me are now richer than Jesus. They're out there doing everything they want in their heart's desire. So now I'm running fast I can because I'm trying to catch up now. Now I'm on catch up mode. I ain't trying to catch up with them. I'm trying to catch up with my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm never trying to be better than anybody. I don't need to be better than Steve Harvey. I don't need to be better than Eddie Murphy. I don't need to be better than Richard Pryor. I just need to be better than me. If I could just be better than Michael Colyar every day, then I'm getting there. You know, I'm happy. You know, I got a woman that loves me. God digs me. I got a house that's clean and 2 great dogs. You know, so as long as I'm doing what I love, if I break even, I'm ahead of the game, and I have the most amazing daughter in the whole wide world. She's beautiful and smart and talented. I wish you could hear her sing. She's amazing. She is amazing, and her heart is amazing.
Definitely.
You know, she knows God, and she knows kindness, and I love her.
If people don't know, this man is a motivational speaker as well. By all means, let the people know.
I'm going to get some motivational speaking money this year, too. I'm writing a new book called Michael Goes Motivational.
Yeah.
And once that thing is printed, we're going to get our motivational speaking money, you know, because it's out there to be had, man.
You inspiring everybody, man. Inspiring me right here to stay on the grind and everything, man. Definitely. We wrap everything up a little bit.
Hold on, before we wrap it up, we got to talk about my president.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hold that book up. See that? Hold that all the way up to that camera.
You got it? You
see.
good?
I'm going to go this camera right here. You said you got to do a close-up, mama. You got it? I see a thumbs up. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now I did this little book on the president called The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the White House. I knocked on the door and a brother answered, okay? It is my love letter and a historical book on my president. So kids will know. Your next guest here.
Oh, no, okay. Keep on going.
But we don't care about your next guest. Man, we don't like that. Anyway,
he's a Chi-Town native too.
Okay, so I'm gonna hurry. I'm gonna move this right along. Y'all can reach me for this at my email, comicking123@aol.com. It's just that if Bush had killed Osama bin Laden, if Bush had killed, if he had reinstated General Motors, if he had created a health care bill that my mama and my grandmama could afford, and if he had ended that illegal war in Iraq that he started to cover his own behind for 9/11, his face would already be on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
President Obama has done that and so much more, and it's still not enough. He could cure cancer today, and they say that nigga started in the first place. So we need to lift up our president, support him, and be there for him. And this book is age universal. It's not just a children's book. It's an adult's book. Anybody who reads English will love this book. So you need to get this for your kids and your grandkids, because they're not going to let another black man slip into that presidency.
Not in our lifetime.
200 years.
Yeah.
So we need to embrace him and love him. I just want to get that in. I know we rush.
No. Go ahead.
Okay,
You got anything else you want to talk about? Anything where people can see you next? What you got coming up?
Man, there's so much stuff. Tonight I'm performing at Screw's. It's a place on Washington. I don't know where Screw's is, but Screw has a show. If y'all know about Screw's show, I'll be at Screw's show. I'll be at Inside Jokes, which is at Man's Chinese Theater, Theater 6, Sunday night. I just did a 1-hour, totally clean comedy special for the Black Network called Bounce TV.
Bounce TV,
that
baby.
should come out like January. And then 3 nights ago, I just did Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed. That should come out within the next couple of weeks or so.
It's working.
And I'm hireable, people. Yeah, I do weddings, divorces, Passover, hangovers. I do a party in the phone booth if you promise to call. I take green stamp, food stamp, Canadian money. I take your bus transfer if it got some time left on it. I think I squeezed everything in, except she said they're going to put up my email.
But then let them know. Say it to the people.
comicking123@aol.com. You can Facebook me at my name, Michael Colyar, Colyar. I promise you, I respond personally to all inboxes. Also, Twitter is at Michael Colyar, and Instagram is Michael_Colyar. Holla at a brother. Thank you.
Man is still on his hustle game.
I appreciate it.
And you guys know me. I'm Ashford J. Thomas, host of BHL, and you can find me online at Ashford JT. Anywhere, and follow How to You, the fellowship giving a chance for HBCU students to actually work on a television production. I'm trying to talk to this man, see if I can work things out.
That wasn't no damn hour.
I know.
Okay, but thank you, brother. I am very honored to have been here. God bless you real good. And you're a Howard man, so you're a bad boy.
I'm trying.
Thank you, brother. Much respect.
Definitely. Tune in next time, a Black Hollywood Live. Stand up and sit down.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.